Caitlin Clark just secured a deal that's making Angel Reese lose sleep at night. While the entire WNBA is on break, Clark's already banking 6 figures for a single hour of work, and here's the kicker. She doesn't even have to touch a basketball. What she's doing right now in 2025 is sending shockwaves through every locker room in the league, and Angel Reese's desperate reaction to it all? Well, that's where things get really interesting. The numbers are absolutely insane. Clark's commanding $100,000 minimum for virtual speaking engagements. That's right, she's making more money sitting at home on Zoom than most WNBA players make in an entire season. And before you think this is just hype, let me break down exactly what's happening behind closed doors that has the entire league shook. But first, if you're Team Caitlin Clark, hit that like button right now and let's show Angel Reese's fans who really runs women's basketball. Trust me, what you're about to hear will change how you see everything. Here's what nobody's talking about. While Clark's been dealing with injury setbacks this season, she's been quietly building an empire that doesn't require her to step foot on a court. Fortune 500 companies are literally fighting over who gets to book her next. We're talking about exclusive events at luxury country clubs where CEOs write checks that would make your head spin. The Long Island Association just locked her in for their fall conference, and industry insiders are saying this is just the beginning. What makes this even more shocking is the timing. Clark didn't wait for retirement. She didn't wait for the perfect moment. She saw an opportunity and grabbed it while other players are still arguing about charter flights and salary caps on social media. The woman who transformed Iowa basketball into must-watch television is now transforming herself into something the WNBA has never seen before. A player who doesn't need the league to make superstar money. But that wasn't the whole story. Angel Reese, watching from the sidelines, couldn't handle being overshadowed again. Sources close to the situation revealed something absolutely wild. Reese suddenly updated her own speaking fee to match Clark's exact number, $100,000. The same website that lists sports speakers for corporate events mysteriously showed Reese's new rate right after Clark's deals went public. Coincidence? The basketball world doesn't think so. The desperation is almost painful to watch. While Clark's getting booked by major corporations who actually want to hear her insights on leadership and winning, Reese is out here trying to convince people she's worth the same price tag. It's like watching someone try to sell a Honda for Ferrari prices just because they parked next to one. The market knows the difference, and the bookings speak for themselves. What happened next would shock everyone. Industry experts started comparing the actual demand for both players as speakers. Clark's calendar? Booked solid through spring 2025. Reese's availability? Let's just say she has plenty of open dates. One talent agency executive, speaking anonymously, said Clark's team is turning down events because they can't fit them all in. Meanwhile, Reese's representatives are allegedly reaching out to organizations offering discounts just to get her on stages. The power dynamic shift is undeniable. Clark has essentially become bigger than the WNBA itself. When sponsors call now, they don't ask about league partnerships. They ask specifically for Caitlin Clark. TV networks bypass the commissioner's office entirely and go straight to Clark's management team. She's not just a player anymore, she's the product that everyone wants. Think about what this means for the league's future. The average WNBA salary sits around $120,000 for an entire season of grinding it out, dealing with physical contact, questionable referee calls, and endless travel. Clark makes that in a morning, sipping coffee and sharing stories about her journey to greatness. No wonder players like Reese are scrambling to keep up. The jealousy is becoming impossible to hide. Reese's social media has turned into a masterclass in passive-aggressive posting. Cryptic quotes about being overlooked, comments about staying true to yourself, and my personal favorite, suddenly posting about her own speaking engagements that mysteriously never seem to have any actual details or dates attached. It's giving desperate energy, and everyone can see it. But here's where it gets really revealing. Clark isn't even trying to compete with anyone. She's playing a completely different game. While Reese is fighting for Instagram likes and Twitter mentions, Clark's building relationships with Fortune 500 CEOs. While Reese posts another selfie trying to stay relevant, Clark's negotiating deals that set her up for life after basketball. The corporate world has essentially crowned Clark as the face of women's sports without needing anyone's permission. They're voting with their wallets, and the message is crystal clear. Clark represents excellence, professionalism, and marketability. She's what happens when talent meets opportunity and doesn't apologize for success. What's even more shocking is how Clark's handling her injury situation. Instead of sulking or making excuses, she pivoted. She turned what could have been lost time into the most profitable period of her career. That's the difference between a superstar and someone who just thinks they are one. Clark adapts, evolves, and dominates in whatever arena she enters. The speaking circuit isn't just about money, though. It's about influence. Every time Clark takes that stage, she's shaping how the next generation thinks about women's sports. She's not begging for respect, she's commanding it. She's not asking for equal pay, she's creating her own economy. And that terrifies players who thought complaining on social media was enough to change things. Let me paint you a picture of what these events actually look like. Clark walks into rooms filled with the most powerful people in business. They hang on every word as she breaks down her approach to pressure, her mindset during clutch moments, and how she built a brand that transcends basketball. These aren't pep talks. They're masterclasses in excellence from someone who's actually lived it. Meanwhile, what's Angel Reese's message? What unique insights does she bring that justify that $100,000 price tag she desperately copied? The market has already answered that question with its silence. You can't fake authenticity, and you definitely can't fake the kind of impact Clark has made on the sport. The timing of all this is particularly brutal for Reese. Just when she thought the off-season would give her a chance to reset and reclaim some spotlight, Clark goes and creates an entirely new lane for herself. It's like watching someone try to win a race while the other person's already at the finish line counting their prize money. But wait, there's more to this story that nobody's discussing. Sources within the league are saying that Clark's success off the court is causing serious discussions about player marketing rights and individual brand building. Some players want restrictions on these kinds of deals, claiming it creates an unfair advantage. Translation: they want to hold Clark back because they can't keep up. The commissioner's office is reportedly in panic mode. How do you market a league when one player is bigger than the entire product? How do you negotiate TV deals when networks only care about one name? How do you maintain competitive balance when one athlete's earning potential dwarfs everyone else's combined? These are questions they never had to answer before Clark showed up and changed the game. Here's something that'll really blow your mind. Industry insiders are saying Clark's speaking fees are actually underpriced. Compared to retired athletes like Serena Williams or Peyton Manning, who charge $250,000 or more, Clark's $100,000 rate is considered a bargain. Her team is reportedly planning to double it by the end of 2025, and companies will still pay it without blinking. The Sophie Cunningham effect is worth mentioning here too. As Clark's Indiana Fever teammate, Cunningham's been watching this masterclass in brand building up close. She's taking notes, learning the game, and guess what? She's not out here copying price tags or posting jealous tweets. She's supporting her teammate while quietly building her own brand the right way. That's the difference between confidence and insecurity. What really exposes Reese's desperation is the quality difference in their speaking engagements. Clark's appearing at prestigious business conferences with Fortune 500 executives. Where's Reese speaking? Local charity events and small business gatherings where they probably negotiated that $100,000 fee down to something more realistic. You can list any price you want, but getting someone to actually pay it? That's where reality hits. The psychological impact of this situation on Reese must be devastating. Imagine thinking you're the face of women's basketball, only to watch your rival make more money talking about basketball than you make playing it. Imagine seeing every major corporation choose Clark over you, every single time. That's got to sting worse than any loss on the court. But here's the thing about Clark that separates her from everyone else. She's not doing this to spite anyone. She's not trying to embarrass Reese or make other players look bad. She's simply maximizing her value and showing everyone what's possible when you focus on excellence instead of excuses. She's the blueprint, whether others want to admit it or not. The speaking engagement game is just the beginning. Sources say Clark's team is already fielding offers for documentaries, book deals, and even potential ownership stakes in sports franchises. She's 23 years old and already thinking like a mogul. Meanwhile, Reese is still trying to convince people she deserves the same attention for doing significantly less. What nobody wants to talk about is how this affects team dynamics going forward. How do you share a locker room with someone who makes your annual salary in an afternoon? How do you compete against someone who doesn't even need the game anymore? The WNBA is about to face questions it's never had to answer, all because one player decided to think bigger. The real kicker? Clark's injury might have been the best thing that ever happened to her financially. It forced her to explore other revenue streams, and she discovered she's even more valuable off the court than on it. That's not a knock on her playing ability. It's a testament to her marketability and intelligence. She turned a setback into $1 million comeback. As we head deeper into 2025, the gap between Clark and everyone else is only getting wider. She's not just winning the game, she's changing what the game even is. While players like Reese are stuck playing checkers, Clark's out here playing three-dimensional chess with corporate America as her board. The most telling part of this whole situation? Clark hasn't said a single negative word about Reese or anyone else. She doesn't need to. Her success speaks louder than any trash talk ever could. She's letting her bank account do the talking while others exhaust themselves trying to keep up with someone who's already lapped them twice. The WNBA better figure out fast how to handle the Caitlin Clark phenomenon, because she's not slowing down. If anything, she's just getting started. And for players like Angel Reese, who thought copying her moves would be enough, well, they're learning the hard way that you can't duplicate greatness. You either have it or you spend your whole career pretending you do. If you think Caitlin Clark is revolutionizing women's sports, drop a comment below and let us know what you think her next power move will be. And don't forget to subscribe because we're tracking every move in this incredible story as it unfolds.